Baby hands and ruby lips, special magic from her fingertips. She could heal a nation with just a touch, make your soul cry without as much. Bring both the wellsprings on desert sand, walk on the oceans as tableland. She majestic, this you comprehend. Lady of love, dream of every man. I'm talking about love. Talking about love. Talking about love. Talking about love. I'm talking about L.O.V. Talking about love. I'm talking about love. I will walk a million miles over glass my feet bare. Stare directly at the sun until blinded by the glare. Climb Everest the mountain, swim the deepest sea. If this woman I see would give her love to me, through bloodshot eyes did she call to me. But for my love, I would no longer be known. Can you ever love me? You can really say. But for a moment with her, give a thousand days. Talking about love. Talking about love. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about love. Talking about L.O.V. love. Talking about love. Talking about love. Let's take it home now. Talking about love. Talking about love. Talking about love. It'll make a blind man talk about seeing again. Make a simple man think about dancing again. I'm a man in love, this you already know. And for my baby love, I will walk through the rain and the snow. Can you ever love me? Who can really say? For my baby's love, I can never walk away. Come on and play. Let's talk about love. Talking about love. I'm talking about love. Talking about love. See, this man loves a woman. Talking about love. And it can change the world with the good thing he's found. Talking about love. See, he's going around telling everybody. Talking about love. Telling everybody about the love she's putting down. Talking about love. Kill her, yes she did. Talking about love. your way. I can make it through 1,000 tomorrows. You with me here today. Let the times clash on this land of ours. All I move, earth to Mars. It won't matter, I know you are. I'll be loving you. Oh, oh, oh. The sun comes up and the air to breathe, but still nothing on has a beat. That's my resolution, baby. The stars, I'll be loving you. Oh, 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 oh. I'm still drinking at this anytime at all. things that you've been through, and all the times life made you blue. Search down deep within yourself. Oh, make it medicine for someone else, someone else. Share the joys you wish you know. Hold on to the tears that you shed. Bottle them with care as though for yourself. Oh, make it medicine for someone else, someone else. You gotta go on, and it's hard, I know. Sometimes the way you see it grow, it's for you not to take it personal, 'cause it's not about yourself. Yes, it's hard to face when you suffer for someone else. Share the battles, good and bad. The hardest trials you've ever had. Take all the trophies, take them off the shelf. Oh, make it medicine for someone else, someone else.
It is a privilege and an honor to see you all again tonight. We are back for night 2 of the virtual telethon. We weren't able to get on last night, but we were able to get on tonight, and I'm glad to be here with you. I think I can take the banner down that says we're about to start, because we've started. And I'm glad to be here with you tonight. In fact, I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight. This is such a privilege. And I want to thank you guys, because we're off to a good start. For one night that we've done it, we finished the night at $1,100, and now we're at $2,100. And so things are growing, things are happening, and we are grateful for every single donation. We don't take any donation lightly at all. We are grateful for every single one. We got so many things going on behind the scenes, and it's been like a busy day, but it is all good. We are so, like I said, we are super grateful for it all and thankful for it all. I'm waiting on my lovely wife. I think she says she's coming. I can hear her coming from the other side of the studio. And she said she'll be here in a second. But let me give you guys some background information while you're waiting. While you're waiting to hear from us, as they say. The background information is real simple. We have a documentary that's coming out that we're going to start filming on here soon, called The Last Note. And it is a powerful, powerful piece of film. And I say start, but we're really going to finish out The Last Note, because we've been working on it for quite some time now. Now we're ready to really get into it. And it's going to feature none other than Unc Noise. It's going to feature Unc Noise, and you're going to get a chance to see him in a way that you may not have ever seen him before. It's going to be so good. But I'm excited about what that means and what you're going to witness in seeing him. And it's going to be great. And on Saturday, I think Mama Noise and I did a good job of making you familiar with Unc Noise and all of his wonderful music. But now we want to make you familiar with Unc Noise. And some of you have not heard Unc's voice or seen Unc's face in a year, right? Well, we're going to rectify all of that. So, uh, um, uh, we want to show you in just a few seconds an interview that we did with Unc, bringing everybody up to speed, and he's going to tell you why we're doing this documentary. He's going to take you into where he is today and what happened and how it happened and how he got there. I know a lot of you guys got questions as to what's been going on with Unc. You're about to find out. So this is the definitive exclusive interview for each and every one of you to hear exactly what's been going on with Unc Noise, aka Shake Anderson. So I'm excited for you to hear all of this. I guess, listen, Mama Noise, why don't I go ahead and start the interview, and then that way you can jump in afterwards or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and start the interview. I'm not going to keep everybody waiting because I know you want to see this. I know everybody's wanting to kind of know what's been going on, what has happened, what's his status and all that good stuff. And so we don't want to just keep everybody in delay on that. We want to go ahead and get it going. So you hear? Look, she ready now. Hold on, let me get her on the screen. There she is, Mama Noise. Can't see you, but that's okay. Go ahead and say what you need to say, Mama Noise, while I set everything up.
Oh, wow. Glad that I got here in time. Thanks for waiting. So excited about the docuseries. It is definitely a docuseries that brings attention to live music. I don't think that it's kind of subtle. It's subtle, the type of things that's happening in live music. It's like you don't even know that. It's like, wow, we've been so accustomed to studio recorded music on the radios and streaming services and stuff. We don't realize that excuse me, we don't realize that live music is becoming part of the lost art form, that you're able to, just look at what's going on. The what's going on in the headlines is all this conversation about the AIs and how they're trying to take, use that to take over, certain parts of the music industry. Well, if you can pay a robot to do it, then why should you, why do you pay live artists? But I really do think that the experience of live music is something that can't be copied. It is if all of you remember back when we used to when Milli Vanilli put everything on, everything was on blast with Milli Vanilli. When we found out that they were lip syncing, folks was like undone at the fact that all this time we've been giving watching these guys and buying their music and stuff, only to discover that they was lip syncing all this time. Well, I think that was a secret that the music industry didn't want nobody to know, is that that there are moments when folks lip sync. Dare I say, is back when I would watch what is it called? A Soul Train. I would get so excited watching Soul Train that my favorite artists are coming on there. I don't believe that our artist was singing live music.
Some of them sang, but not all of them. You're right.
But see, the fact that you said not all, that was enough right there for me to say, oh my gosh, are you serious? Yeah. I was tearing up everything, trying to get in front of the TV, thinking I'm seeing a live artist, and then discover it was pre-recorded. So anyway, That's another reason why getting this movie docuseries, excuse me, out is so paramount.
Listen, we won't delay anything any further. We got a great interview with Unc that we want to show you guys in regards to what everything Mama Noise was just talking about. So here it is, our interview with Unc, a year in the making. Well, it is a privilege and an honor to have this brother, and I do mean brother in every sense of the word, here with us. I'm not going, because this is going to play across multiple platforms.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to assume, though they should know, I'm not going to assume that everyone knows who you are. So I'm going to say this is my brother, Shake Anderson, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself as well. So tell them a little bit about who you are and what you've done and all that good stuff.
I wasn't really ready for that particular part of the thing. I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter, producer, who has been blessed to have performed with some of the greatest artists of our time, and I'm still on the learning curve, as it were. So, I've still got a lot to learn and a lot to offer. But I was the MD for the Impressions. I was graced to play with Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Aretha Franklin, and Gladys Knight. I've worked with a lot of movie soundtracks, and had some of the greatest jingles in our history. Dr. Pepper and Cherry Coke and Levi's, and worked on movie soundtracks, and just done a lot. Just been doing a lot, as well as my gospel heritage of starting New Breed with Israel Houghton. Yeah. So it's a lot. I started playing I started touring when I was 13 or 12 and a half. Although my brothers and I had actually been touring long before that, because I think my first record was, I was 8 or 9, and so we were actually a national recording artist. We were national recording artists at like 8 years old, and started doing that. And then from there, I went to the Highway QCs and the Soul Stirrers and Doc McKenzie and those different artists. So I've been doing this for a long time. It is actually, man, it's been 50 years. Wow.
It's 50 years this year.
50 years that I've been in some form of music. Wow.
That's incredible, bro. I'm gonna dive right in.
Okay.
Because for those who don't know, this is we're doing a documentary on. Initially, the documentary started as a thing just about music and musicians that are, live music or whatever. But my brother here got diagnosed with something last year, so I want you to tell everybody kind of your journey and what you went through and how we arrived here I guess well, we'll just talk about what you got, what happened to you last year. And actually, it's almost a year to date right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and just tell everybody what you.
Well, I was. It starts with I was on the way to a gig. I've been playing with this country artist who actually was on American Idol, and was she on American Idol? Yeah, on American Idol, and I was on my way to a gig, just feeling regular, but I noticed I hadn't felt regular. Like I was losing, I would say, my speech. Like a lot of my speech was departing from me, and there was a fog happening. So like most of the times I was traveling, I would go with my wife and my son because they would help me, get through the gig and everything. And so we were on our way to this particular gig, and my wife observed me driving in a way that I normally don't drive. I'm a very good driver. But she had noticed something and didn't like the way I was driving. So she had suggested that I stop driving, or just relinquish the wheel to her because maybe I was fatigued or whatever. And I argued with her. I said, no. I ain't driving. Because I was 30 minutes out of the gig. You know what I'm saying? I was all right.
Right.
And she said, no, you're not driving. And then I noticed, she noticed the way I was parking. It seemed odd to her. So, because I pulled into the gas station, but I didn't want to be on pump number 13. I just don't like pump number 13.
I'm the same way.
You know what I'm saying? I want a 3 or a 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so she didn't understand that. But anyway, to make a long story short, she refused to ride with me any further. So, of course, I had to, and I had mentioned to her that I was losing my words. I was losing my speech and cognitive, some of that stuff. Now, I had mentioned that to her maybe 2 or 3 days later. I was literally losing my words. I had, and so, but rather than seem ignorant or idiotic or whatever, I just didn't talk. So anyway, she insists on driving. I argue with her. We might have yelled or whatever back and forth, which I've never yelled or anything. And then she insisted, well, here's the deal. If you gotta go, if you're gonna go to the hospital, emergency room. And I knew it was really bad then. But anyway, I went with the hope of being able to do the gig. I was just, well, I'll only do it if I can do the gig. Go to the emergency room and they found, I described them as symptoms of a stroke, but they found that I didn't have a stroke, but they immediately rushed me to this was the hospital in Cleveland, which immediately rushed me to the hospital, the ambulance, and scheduled surgery for the next day. And it was a brain tumor that they found. It was a pretty good brain tumor. And and then they found that it had metastasized. It's metastasized from my kidney to my brain. And then there was another spot that was the thyroid. And so it's since then, I still haven't gotten, I will say, I've got maybe 65%, 70% of my speech and my cognitive reasoning. Now, one of the reasons is I'm on a steroid. Well, I'm on three or four steroids now, but one particular steroid, it definitely induces like brain fog, and you don't have all the clarity of speech, and a lot of times you don't. That's one of the reasons I haven't been doing the shows, because a lot of my reasoning, even if I could understand the question, I didn't always have the answer, and I didn't want to appear to be, just didn't want to appear to be ignorant or a dummy or anything like that. So I just I haven't been on as a result of that. And then the other thing was I was subject to. They make me tired. They make me really drained. And then the last part is they've since found one in, I think it was December, found another tumor on my brain. And then they found another tumor in February, I believe, which is, and they treated those two with radiation. But now I'm determined, I have what is determined as chronic cancer. And they still don't know where it's metastasizing from, because all of these tumors come from somewhere else or some other organ. So they still don't know what that is. And then as a result of that, I had a seizure. So then I couldn't drive anymore. And so I'm on this, I think it's an anti-seizure, it's an anti-seizure medication, which is a steroid also. And so it's, it's been pretty much downhill since. And my, I purposed that I wanted to get some things done before I checked out. And I don't know how much time I have. I'm not making out that I got, less than a year or anything like that. I don't know. I really don't know. But I know that I know right now what I'm capable of doing, but I won't know 3 months from now. I won't know 6 months from now whether I can, keep doing this. And I have a goal. One is to finish this record, this album that I started.
Currently working on, yeah.
Yeah, and then and hopefully do some really purposeful dates that people, I want to leave a legacy for my son. I want to leave something for my wife to be, really be proud of, and people can say, he went out, flaming. He went out in a blaze of glory, or, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead. That kind of thing. But yeah, that's ever since that. I think it was July 21st, I think it was, that I went in the hospital. You know, it's been rough. I was paralyzed for 3 weeks, just paralyzed, and there was no, and everybody said, well, you know, you're not going to come back from that. But I've been blessed to have come back to a great degree, man. You know, the doctor says I have what's called a high functioning brain. So that means, I don't know what that means, to be honest with you, other than it needs stimulation. So playing has really been therapeutic. Yeah, man, it's really, and it's amazing how the brain rewires itself. It'll find a path. If you it'll find the path. So it has to divert itself, or whatever the term is, and go in a different. But it would definitely will find a way to the things that you love to do.
Yeah. I want to go back just a second. And you talked about the last year.
Yeah.
What has this last year been like for you? And then can you speak a little bit about what it's been like looking at your family as they deal with it as well?
Well, it's been hard, man, because first of all, I'm used to going. You know, I've been more dependent on people, on other people. First and foremost, my wife. You know, I'm used to when I get an urge to drive, I drive. You know what I'm saying? I go. You know, It's nothing for me, or no, it was nothing for me to go, 1,000 miles or 1,500 miles or whatever in a day, just to get to a gig, or go, something simple as, going somewhere, going to a show, going to something, that takes a concerted effort now.
Right.
Because you have to depend on others, but also my family, specifically my wife and my son, they've been, I have to say, they've been stronger than I have, because I tend to or I have tended to break down kind of easy. Not in self-pity or anything like that, but in the idea that, man, I don't have long to do this. I don't have, I feel like I'm definitely, for what, I feel like I'm at the end of it. But again, that's just not to say that God can't change the circumstances, or say that he won't, because God, I've certainly been through enough health challenges,
Right.
I've been through
Right.
the ringer when it comes to health, because I spent almost a year in the hospital in 2004.
Right.
And then the devil came back and tried to pinch me in 2011, and then now this has happened. So yeah, I'm well acquainted with suffering and stuff like that, and I've actually found it. I found that I was blessed to be able to go through it, because Paul says, "Oh, that I know you in the fellowship of your suffering." He says it that way. And I never understood that until here recently. I really got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my family has been, and even my brothers, and well, I won't say even my brothers have been, you know, more than accommodating. It's just been amazing what the journey is, and you know, my Admiral and Gary and Greg and you know my sister Vanessa and Mona, they've all been really, really, really good. And Mona's having her own issues, you know, because she's had a lot of health challenges as well. But they've been really, really accommodating, man. I mean, extremely accommodating. So you know, my strength is, to be honest with you, is my family and friends. My you know, you, Ken, and Dwayne. You know, I can't say enough about him. Metcalf, my brothers, but my wife has been everything. You know, she's been literally. You know, because I've seen some people respond in a certain way, and I was like, you know, I'm kind of glad they're not in my, you know, I don't have to depend on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
they would not be there. They would not have. You know, it would have been enough for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, yeah, we with you. You know, so and so. But no, they would be gone after that.
Yeah.
And these are all friends and my wife and everything that, you know, there's not a day that goes by she's not doing something to care for me.
Yeah.
And again, my son, I don't know, he might have broke down at one point, but I never saw it.
I was gonna say, I'm sure he has his moments, but he doesn't. He just don't let you see it.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Now my wife has been, like I said, she's just been amazing, man. Pillar of strength, and she just keeps, you know, she helps me keep going, you know.
That's awesome, man. You know, we're at a really amazing place with all of this, if I could say it that way. It's probably not the right wording, but it's amazing in this regard. When I heard about all of this last year, I didn't handle it well. The initial call, I didn't handle well at all. I was, if I can be very transparent, I was terrified.
Yeah,
right. Me terrified. Why you, bro? I'm going through it, right? So, but I was terrified from a different perspective, because you are not just one of my best friends, but you're also one of my business partners. You're also one of my brothers, and we dream together.
Yeah,
and we dream in color.
Yeah,
and we dream out loud.
Yeah,
and we dream unapologetically. And hearing that initially terrified me, because I'm thinking to myself, but what about the dreams?
Yeah.
What about what we've talked about? What about these long car rides and phone calls and conversations and studio sessions and all of the things that we planned? That this can't be happening. And so for me, that initial, like, and when I say initial, I mean like the day.
Yeah.
It was stunning. And it floored me. And I was no good that day. After that day, I had to wake myself up and say, okay, you got to stop.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we got work to do. And so that's kind of how what's amazing to me, how the last note has kind of come to be, because I know who you are, and I've always known who you are, and I want the word. I remember we've had this conversation privately, but I want the world to know what I've always known about you, that you are one of the greatest artists, singers, songwriters, just creatives in the history of the world, in my humble opinion. And so when I called you and said, hey man, we're gonna pivot this documentary. And here's the irony of it all, because here's how we think. We think, let's get all this other stuff we've been working on down the pike, and let's get them. And we were, listen, full transparency. Now we're gonna let the noisemakers and everybody in on this interview. Full transparency. We have been talking to some networks. We've been talking
right,
and streaming services. We've been negotiating. We've been conversation. So the stuff that we initially thought about, we were like, we're there. We're right at the door. And then the writer's strike happened.
Right.
And they were like, well, we got to hold up because out of respect for the writer. And by the way, we're writers, so we get it. We're not arguing that point because we believe, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was wildly inconveniencing for what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's when we got to thinking and praying about it. And I was like, man, why don't we pivot the last note and make it not just about the initial thing we talked about with music, but make it about this journey that you're on. And when I made that phone call to you, what was your first thoughts about that?
Well, to be honest with you, it seemed kind of hokey. You know,
okay.
Yeah, because, well, you know how it is, man. You don't want to be perceived as somebody that's taking advantage of a situation. Exactly. And I honestly,
especially since it's our company, right?
Yeah, and I don't desire anybody's pity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking you to have pity on me. I'm asking you. That's what I was taking it as. I'm asking you to take this journey with me because it's important. And I hate to, I'll sound egotistical, but it really is important to you to take the journey with me, because I know for a fact this music and my story will heal people. It will heal. It will get because I've been a proponent of love, the love and love is a state of mind. It's not. It is not some emotion or some feeling. It's you decide who you love. It's that simple. Yeah. And I decided a long time ago to love people no matter what. Yeah. And so some of that comes out in the writing. Some of that comes out in the music. Some of that comes out in the speeches or whatever. But I didn't want this to be a situation where it was, oh, pity me and all that. I want it to be something that you can get on board and really be a part of. And so it sounded hokey because all of a sudden we're making it, kind of the story of a personal thing, but also I know enough to know that you have to be deliberate in your approach if you're going to get anything done. Yeah. You got to be somewhat deliberate.
Yeah. And I knew the pivot was the absolute right thing to do, because I 100,000% agree with you that, and it's weird interviewing you because I know all this stuff, but at the same time, Right? Now I understand what Arsenio is talking about when he interviews Eddie Murphy. He said, man, this is weird because I know all this stuff. but so I know all this stuff, but at the same time, I also know, I truly know how powerful this journey has been because I've been a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I need people to understand this is so much bigger than just music. This is a mirror into people's lives to
Mm-hmm.
where they will be able to see themselves and say, I can do this. And
Yes.
it doesn't
Yes.
matter how old you are or how long you've been fighting for it, or I can do this, or what the obstacles or circumstances are. I can do this. And so that's important to me, to be able to portray that and to do this with excellence. So, which is one of the reasons why we started the fundraising, the campaign, and all that stuff, because I wanted to do this with excellence. And there's just some stuff that we have planned and some people that are on board that we won't talk about now, but we're going to get into it soon. But you know they are. But they want to see this done in excellence as well. So when we're asking people to do whatever they're going to do, it's not that we're asking because we're just asking because it needs to get done, because
right.
It needs to get done. So I'm not going to belabor that part, but I do want to ask this one final question for you. What are you hoping people take away from this docuseries, The Last Note?
Well, you actually already said it, and that is, it's never too late. I was it's funny, man. I was talking with my son because he's become the sounding board, as it were, for everything that is Shake Anderson, as opposed to Sam Anderson or Sammy Lewis or anything like that. He's become the and he said something to me, and I had to think about it. He said, Dad, what is your legacy? And I said, man, I have to think about that, because I don't know that you ever really think about. I know I haven't. I've never really thought about what the legacy is. I just did the work. So in asking me that, I had to really, it was like an essay question or something. It was really, really, it was really tough for me to answer. But I said, I would like for my legacy to be, first of all, that I did excellent work. And when I say excellent, I don't mean it was perfect, but it was excellent. And then there's a certain thing that denotes excellence that does not mean it was perfect, but it was actually just right for the time, but it was also enough ahead of the time that it could withstand the curve and the curve or the bend of time, as it were. So that's the first thing. And then I said, I would like it to be something that when it's all said and done, this is a great, this was I would hope to be remembered as a great man. I would like to be, I love my wife, I love my children, I love the music that I write and produce. But more importantly, I would want to know that something I said or done would live on in perpetuity, You know, some piece of me would go on to survive no matter what. And that, or in that, is where I derive my sense of being. So, you know, I hope I said that right.
Yeah,
but
no.
it's really important that the message that I have, it comes out. You know, it's really important that it's not just the way I delivered it, but it's more about the consistency of the message. Because, you know, you write a song like I was listening to your the what do you call it, the advertisement, or the
the little trailer we did, the campaign
yeah,
trailer.
and you know what, man, it does not hit you. Your words don't hit you,
Bruh.
until you literally,
I know what
you
you're
know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like,
Bruh, let me tell you something. And I don't mean to cut you off, but I heard Medicine
yeah,
5,000 times, 10,000 times. When we were putting that trailer together, I heard it.
right.
I heard it. Like
Yeah.
I've listened to it 10,000 times. But for some reason, in that context, I was just like,
Yeah.
the genius. And I've always known it's genius. I've always known it's amazing. I've always known it's incredible. But it hit different. It hit very, very different.
Well, think about me. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
I'm being selfish.
I'm sitting there going, did I write? You know what I'm saying?
You wrote that, brother.
There's so much to, we get bogged down in minutia.
Yeah.
And we don't realize what we're saying a lot of times. You know, now I was true to the sentiment and everything. I was true to that. But I did not know, there was no way to really understand what was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
There's no way to know what I would be facing with today.
Yeah.
And, you know, it all started because of an idea that, you know, it's really oversimplified, but the truth of it is, snake venom is highly toxic and ultimately deadly. But that same snake venom that can kill you can literally cure you. Yeah. And in the right context, it's absolutely, you know, some people literally take it just to, you know, whatever reason they're taking it, whatever. But the point is, the very thing that can kill you can make you stronger, can make you live, you know? Yeah. And I was writing behind that sentiment, not even thinking, you
had the same reaction I had when I was putting the trailer together. I was like, oh my God, this thing is going full circle. Like it is.
Yes.
Really full circle. I'm first of all, and let me just say this. It is an honor to be charged with the responsibility to direct this thing. This will be my directorial debut. And I'm so excited that this is the first project, because it needs to be. The world needs to know what I know. They need to know it. And I'm tired of them not knowing it. And I cannot wait for the world to see and hear who you are, the way that I've always known you. And so this is a true passion project. and I'm excited about everything about it.
Yeah.
But let me just say thank you for doing this for the noisemakers and for everybody who will watch this. And I pray that you guys will go and because we're scheduled to start July 1st of next month, like so Saturday when we're supposed to start. So we want to hit our goal, and any amount that you can give is appreciated. If it's $10, $5, $1, whatever you give,
1,000,
appreciate it.
2,000,
right? Thousands is spelled THOU. Say it.
Yeah.
And so whatever you can give, please give, and we appreciate it. But more importantly, Shake, I appreciate you telling your story to everybody. I know it's not easy to do that in the midst of it, but I appreciate you doing this. I think it's definitely better coming from you than it is coming from me. And I appreciate the transparency by which you spoke as well. So thank you for doing this, big bro. I appreciate you. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. No longer have you heard it from the grapevine. You have now heard it from the grape, which is one of my favorite sayings. I appreciate Unc for doing that. And just being real candid with everybody. And listen, now I can full disclosure you, and Mama Noise can full disclosure you some things as well. Where my hat at? I feel naked without my hat. Okay, there we go. I feel now I can kind of share some things from my heart as well. As much as it has been difficult for I don't know what to do about that, Mama Noise. It ain't on my end, it's on your end. If y'all hear feedback, put it in the chat for me. I actually don't hear it, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Mama Noise may be right.
Take the try.
We don't need that right now. Okay. I was gonna say, because you interrupted my thought. What's my thought? Oh, as much as it's been, a challenge, a tremendous, overwhelming challenge for the Anderson family. It ain't been a picnic to watch it either. And one day we'll get into the whole details of what we have been doing behind the scenes. But I will tell you this, one of the reasons why we pivoted the way that we did last year going into this year is because of what we were trying to do in concert with Unc Noise. We really are trying to help in every way that we can and trying to bring some things together so that we can help relieve like just a lot of the stress and the burden, and that Unc can focus on the fight. He's in a fight, y'all. Cancer, for those of you who have family that have gone through cancer battles or whatever, it's a real battle. It's not for the faint of heart. And you got to really bring it in order to get through it. And one of the strongest ways that you quote unquote bring it is your mind got to stay right. Your mind got to stay all the way right. So he has done that. And we're so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And I'm so proud that he wanted to do this. Full disclosure, I kind of had to talk him into it a little bit. You heard him say it a little bit like, well, I didn't want it to be selfish. Man, it ain't selfish, bro. This is just the reality of your circumstances. And I think we should tell your story. And that's how I felt about it. And so I'm glad we're here. Listen, just like he said, all you got to do to donate is go to this website, type spot.fund/the last note, and you can donate, and no amount is too small. Right now, we are currently at $2,100, $2,100, and we are so grateful for those donations. And we believe that it's all going to come in. We're only trying to raise 25 grand. We're only, as they say, we only 25 grand short. We just 25 grand short. So we're gonna believe God that it's gonna come in on time. And some people have already hit us up and said, hey man, we got something coming your way. We're grateful for that. And so we just gonna believe God for the whole thing to be here on time. And yes, some of this is done in concert. This is the beauty of having a nonprofit. Some of us is done in concert with our nonprofit. So you can write this off as tax deductible if you would like. That's completely up to you. So just hit us up, hit Mama Noise up. We'll get you the tax, whatever tax information that you have to write it off as tax deductible. So, Mama Noise, you got any thoughts on what you heard from our brother?
It's emotional.
Yeah, you've been emotional all day, if I can be honest. You've been emotional all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want to act like I'm Billy Bad, but Billy Bad but don't sound right. Billy Badass, I've been emotional too. I'm emotional about it as well, but I don't have the luxury to be like perpetually emotional because the work got to get done. So I gotta kind of put my feelings aside and just focus on the work and getting the work done. And that's what I've been trying to do. So far it's worked well doing that. The work is getting done. So I'm grateful.
I'm petitioning to all the noisemakers, those that normally tune in to Talking Noise, Uncorked Wine, the Five, all of our shows on all of our platforms. Guys, we generally give to different types of charities. And this is not shade because I know he probably doesn't appreciate me mentioning this, but at any rate, Mr. Noise and I had been in ministry for 20 years, and we've given to many a function, many a event, many a conference, many a workshop, many times to people that we will never see. We just showed you here on this platform, Sheikh Anderson and his plight of what he wants to leave as a legacy for his son and wife. And we want to help him do that with the last note, to be a part of that. I'm not saying it's all over. I'm saying to be a part of the legacy. Because right before your eyes, live music is like, you got to search it out. The live music that we see, or should I say that you probably seen recently, was at one of these funk fests. This is not shade on the funk fest, but I'm saying one of these festivals of groups and stuff from in the past. You're like, where are the ones that are coming after them? Where are they? Where are the Sheikh Andersons that are coming after him? And all the artists like him.
Yeah.
So, I don't have to tell you that every time you turn on the news or something, they're talking about the AIs is trying to do whatever to the music industry and all that type of stuff.
Bothering you? That's the second time you mentioned that
Well,
tonight.
it is disturbing because you already knew that once lip syncing got exposed. Now you're saying, man, I really want to hear somebody's gift other than church on Sunday morning. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I truly believe in my heart that this documentary and the story that we not only tell about live music, but more importantly to me about Unc Noise is going to start, hopefully be a catalyst for change in music. And hopefully there'll be some kids that'll watch this and then they will get together and be like, man, we need to get together and form us a band. I play tuba and you play the piccolo and you play the bongos, and I play the kazoo. Let's put a band together and see what happens. Whatever. The bottom line is, we just want to see live music come back in a big way. So,
but the way you can help, if you're I'll take Uncle Noise's last comment. If you can give $1,000, 500, you're looking for a cause, this is it. Yeah. This is the one to give to, so we can see the manifestation of a part of Unc Noise legacy.
Amen to that. Yeah.
You say, man, I don't have 1,000, I don't have 500, but I bet you got 5,000 friends.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah, we didn't tell you how you had to give.
I mean, listen. Even if you share this link, share this this telethon, and post it on your wall. I have 5,000 friends on my page.
Tell them
if
all
you all can put $100
or $1,
$1 per friend, $100 per friend, $50 per friend.
There you go.
If you could do that, that would move the needle towards our goal. And that would be a blessing to Sheikh Anderson, his family, his legacy, and the Last Note docuseries.
Yeah.
Because people are always looking to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Mr. Noise and I are I'm a part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Mr. Noise is a part of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And like I said, this is not shade. This is just my opinion. We give thousands and thousands of dollars in fees and stuff towards all kinds of stuff. If you missed it and you say, man, I just tuned in, you get a chance to, it'll still be available for you to open this link. It starts at the beginning. You'll get a chance to see the face of the Last Note.
And we're going to replay it again a couple of times.
And we're going to replay it again. But you'll see the face of the Last Note, Sheikh Anderson.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we don't want to hold you. This was a short night tonight. But we wanted to just get the ball rolling. And this broadcast is actually going to replay again later on tonight, a couple of hours from now, as a matter of fact, it's going to replay. So you'll get a chance to see it again if you missed it. And it's the man himself telling you how he feels and what he's going through and what he's been through and all that good stuff. So you don't even have to guess no more. You don't have to hear it from us. You just listen in and hear it for yourself right from the horse's mouth. Also, if you're on TikTok, do us a favor and go like our post on TikTok about the Last Note. It just launched on TikTok about 15 minutes ago. And so we're just trying to do what we can, y'all. And, try to see how we can bring this thing to fruition. So we thank you guys so much. I think there's only really one way to close out, and that's with a Sheikh Anderson video. So
super thanks to everybody who's given up to this point.
Yes. And so
we're on our way.
Yep. And so with that being said, hey, listen, let's enjoy some Sheikh Anderson.
Sheikh, you're good for sound check.
When you love hard from the start, no fairness comes into play. There ain't no amount of ours that can give ease when she's away. Over and over, you're asking your mind, but doesn't she feel what's felt within? 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, now it's 4 a.m. and love ain't coming back again. Baby, the sun never goes away. When you're in too deep, you're just in too deep, too deep. And now you think you'll never be good enough. How dare you dream of love that way? You don't think you'll ever hold it again. True love is never coming your way. Baby, the sun never goes away. When you're in too deep, you're just in too deep. And sometimes the pain is there to stay. There's a blotch on your heart, a terrible blotch on your heart. Baby, the sun never goes away. When you're in too deep, you're just in too deep. Does it stay on your heart? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There's a blotch on your heart. Maybe the stain will wash away.